Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
I'm Kurtzauer, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network.
Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Big, talking to you once again about the interesting situation in Vegas and the heyday of what I call Sin City. Yes, go to Vegas. I went to today. By all means, go there and have fun. There's a lot of fun to be had. A lot of places to see. You got the Grand Canyon, you got Hoover Dam, you got the Mountain Museum, all kinds of interesting places to go and have a good time at. Absolutely. Please, please, please do not bring your kids through my casinos. No, don't do it. Anyway, enough of that. And hey, we talk on here. It is the 50s, into the 80s, perhaps. I don't think go much further into the 80s. Yeah, I mean, to me, after a while, after the feds come in and take over, kick the mafia out of the casinos, it's not as much fun to me, at least, talking about it. And I've been asked all the time, is there still a mafia presence in Vegas? And I have to say, well, yes and no. Is there a mafia influence-owned company in Vegas? Absolutely, without a doubt. Is it as big as it was back in the 50s and 60s and like? No, it's not even. It's not. But yet it does exist, right? If I had to point at a type of industry that would be involved in, easy, healthcare. Healthcare is heavily infiltrated by the mafia, as in some financial services. But overall, generally speaking, in the city of Las Vegas, I would say look at your healthcare, look at your unions. I can think of one in particular, and look at your financial services, especially crypto. But that's another subject for another day, which I will be talking about on Fridays on my own station. Yay, go me. Any of it. Today we'll be talking about the Jewish influence in Vegas. Interesting. People are mistaken, and I probably should have done a better job of explaining the differences when I started this, which I apologize for. There's the mafia. When I say mafia, when most people say mafia, they assume everybody's part of the mafia when they talk about organized crime. That's not the truth. The mafia should be distinguished between the Italian-American mafia, right? Where you have the hierarchy that you see in The Godfather. They see a little bit in The Irishman, where people have jobs. You have the Godfather, the consigliere, the capos, the street bosses, the soldiers, the associates, right? All of them perform a particular function at a particular time, right? They do. Soldiers do the street type stuff. Street bosses control what's going on in the street level type stuff. Who's the associates, the soldiers underneath them, right? You get the capos, which control different parts of the overall family, right? The consigliere. Hey, thanks, Greg. The consigliere who's running things day to day, making sure there's installation between the Godfather and the rank and file, because the idea is to keep the Godfather away. So when Joe Blow associates busted for running drugs, you can't say, hey, the Godfather knows I'm running drugs. There's plausible deniability. Who the hell is this guy? Basically, how the organization works. And you can do a really good show on the insult of the organization because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of ins and outs. I should just fucked up. I do these shows that when I like talking about mafia, I like talking about, especially in Vegas, in the sell my book like an onion. You get a copy of my book like an onion on Amazon. Most places you can find it. It's in hard copy. I'm sorry, it's in paperback. It's in Kindle. It's an audiobook, right? Again, it's in Kindle. It's in paperback. It's in audiobook. Yeah, we'll have a follow-up version to Like an Onion 2 coming out. Bob will Roger myself, because there's so much we'll get into here. Why we find this fascinating that we didn't know when we first looked into it. Most people don't know. We just find this stuff interesting, and we think you guys might find it interesting too. But the Italian mafia is the mafia. The Jewish people, I think people call people, I apologize if I offend anyone. That's not the intention. The Jewish associates had their own thing. But they weren't organized like the mafia. They didn't have street bosses, captains. They formed gangs. They had a hierarchy within those gangs and who would be doing what, right? But they didn't have godfathers per se. They probably had cutouts because they wanted to protect the head of that family, head of that organization, from prosecution whenever possible. That's what they're organized to do. They're also organized as a part of the Jewish mafia. I can go Jewish gangsters to do typical what gangsters in different parts of the world do. One, victimize their own people when they can, and get their roots in intelligent business. Now, what's fascinating about Las Vegas is some of the most successful casino owners, some of those successful casino operatives were Jewish. Yeah. And unlike our Italian friends, they'd rather talk to you than kill you. What Bugsy Siegel, right? Bugsy Siegel, who victimized Billy Wilkinson to take over the Flamingo, was this dog. He was a rapist. He was a murderer. He was a loan shark. All the negative things you could think of any particular criminal could be, that was Bugsy. Absolutely. Fight me if you think I'm wrong. Bring it. That's Bugsy. But most of them, the successful ones, like Modellits, is a good example. Moe Segway is another good example of people who started off in the Ohio River Valley in and around Detroit, went to Vegas, used their business skills that they learned in Detroit, in the Ohio River Valley, running nightclubs, running illegal casinos, brought them to Vegas, and ran the casinos there well, where they made money. They could go then to the people that actually own the casinos, especially the people in the outfit, and say, hey, this is what you do to make sure the casino runs well. This is what we do, this is what we don't do. And you'll see over time, casinos do really, really well. So well, in fact, that more Jewish Americans would flock to Vegas to use their business skills and do well. We look at one of the famous bookmakers of all time, Frank Rosenstein, the guy that did the movie Casino. It's a good book too. I like the book. The book is better than the movie Casino, but still, it's only a little sliver of a story. He goes to Vegas. He's running the day-to-day operations of 3 casinos. He's also bringing some innovative ideas to get more people to come to the casinos. He hires the first female dealers. Yeah, the first female dealers came under his watch. Why did it take him so long to figure that one out is beyond me. You'd think to me they would figure out from the get-go that the guy would rather lose money to a woman than a guy. Now, sometimes people freak out. Sometimes that men playing whatever gambling game they might be playing, be it blackjack, be it crap, be it poker, flip out because how dare they lose their woman. Assholes like that everywhere. There's nothing new with gambling versus net gambling. There's a male dealer versus a female dealer. Some people are just idiots. Goes without saying. I should go without saying, I should say. But Frank Rosenwald did that. He brought good-looking women to deal because men, trust me when I say this. So you simply go to YouTube and you Google dancing dealers, right? You Google dancing dealers and see what you can find near the casinos or within the casinos that Derek Stevens owns. He knows that men are willing to spend a lot of money in a casino when they can spend it with or on a woman. Oh, God, yes. Binions, the same way. Binions, they call theirs cowgirls. I think they still call them cowgirls. The same thing. Guy, now it should, that's not his case, is alcohol involved. I've slowed down my voice since this is a subject that really interests me. And I get really excited easily. I apologize. But men are usually more controllable unless there's alcohol involved when there's women around. At least in my opinion, what I've observed with my own eyes. Like so you bring in the guys, you bring in the good-looking girls. Yeah, impress me, Mr. Guy. Impress me, Guy. Impress me on how you play blackjack. I'll lose another hand and tell me that you're card counting or act like you're card counting, right? So when you lose, you can blame whatever, right? I mean, men are stupid, especially gambling. A lot of men who gamble are stupid. Men gambling on women are really fools. The casinos take advantage of that fact. The casinos are in business to make money, not in business to make you a good day, not in business to get you to flirt with that dealer, which if what I want, they'll think they can win money. It's not going to happen. They know their business. The Jewish gangsters do their business. And nice thing when you talk about Modellits, especially, or most segue, right? is let's change how we live. Let's change what we do. Let's say it change public perception. Let's go from this guy from Detroit helping to run casinos in the Ohio River Valley, running nightclubs. Let's come to Vegas, get established in this casino, be the business manager, hire front people. We need to have front people hired, and make sure people have a good time. In the meantime, as I bring in this money, I'm going to build this hospital, help build this hospital. I'm going to help build this playground in here. I'm going to be the face of as many civic organizations that I can become the face for. I'm going to give them money. The more money I give the civic organizations, the more I will be praised, and readily they will forget the fact that I came from an illegal gambling background. I'll be the more then let's almost segue. That changed my life. Money segue came down to Vegas with our good friend Bugsy Siegel. Little segue and Bugsy Siegel were bad pairs, and Bugsy wanted people beaten up. I think, in my opinion, you'd rather beat somebody up than say hi. That's not my opinion. My segue was called Bugsy's right-hand guy. But Mo Segway, seeing the path to self-destruction that Bugsy was on, he was quite the path of self-destruction, went the other way, distancing himself from Bugsy, distancing himself, did more and more in the civic arena to the point of where the community encouraged him early in the 50s before Front would run, but early in the day to run for public office because the people of Vegas, the civilians that live in Vegas, that Mo had the ability to bring needed change to the city, bring what was needed as the city of Las Vegas to make it grow and prosper, right? That's how much they trusted him for. And that upset Bugsy to the point where Bugsy threatened him with death a couple of times. Well, there's a large story where Bugsy was going to pull a gun. Okay, you got Mo Segway. It was a gangster. It's been around gangsters. Knows both ends of the gangster business, i.e. being the nice guy, being the asshole. Knows that if Bugsy is talking about killing him, it's most likely thinking about doing it. So maybe acts first. Maybe, Mo Segway thinks, well, why don't I kill him before he kills me? After all, he's in so much trouble, all these other people, he has a list. Nobody's going to suspect me because I'm Mr. Civic Councilman. I'm Mr. Civic Leader. I'm Mr. Let's go door to door and raise money for the Children's Hospital. Let's go door to door and raise money for the synagogue. Let's raise money door to door for this thing or that thing that helps better the community. Nobody will now ever suspect me of wanting the guy dead, will they? Same thing with Dallas. Dallas, again, came from the Ohio River Valley. He came from the Detroit area. He ran a laundromat. Bring up Civil War. He served the U.S. Army, right? Just like my father did. Yeah, I'm old. My father did other people serve, right? He served because, well, he probably was going to have to anyway. Probably gets drafted. But he served doing what he knew best, which was laundry cleaning. And all the trucks he was able to use running laundries. Maybe put laundry in a truck. Maybe put booze in a truck. Maybe put whatever else in his trucks. And they go from place to place. Interesting how you build a network of things, isn't it? Right? Why not use the skills that the Army teaches you and what you had growing up, because he also ran laundries growing up in Detroit. Why not use these skills that you learned from doing laundries for running booze or girls or drugs, right? Why not as well be the face of the casinos in the nicest possible way? And when, of course, we talked last week about my guy in the hat who had a drink at one of Mo's casinos, he dropped over dead. Some say he dropped over dead from a heart attack because his credit was cut off. Others say that he was killed because, well, he owed Mo a lot of money. That was something he was going to get paid by any time in this lifetime. He's also causing problems because his casino, the Stardust, wasn't doing very well at all in the building construction trade. It wasn't even complete. He was still looking for hundreds of thousands of dollars to finish that. He has a problem. What do we do with our problems? Well, we know we tell him to go away. He doesn't. We know if we don't kill him, he tends to come back. Maybe we should kill him. Well, let's do it away. We're no way over to know who did it. Let's wait till he falls over. Let's take the body into the back office. Make sure that it's cleaned up really, really well. Have a nice day. And then we'll call the police long after any evidence can be found. Yes, our Jwish Mafia friends can play both sides of the fence. But why should they? Their main purpose in life was to make money. The main purpose of life was to make money from the people who's more than willing to spend it to them. Right? So let's do the gambling thing. Let's do some really good casinos. Let's make sure that casinos work really well. Let's all have a good time. Boom. Worked out well for him. Even Goldberg, another Jewish gangster who came from the Phoenix area, would bring his Phoenix background with him, a little bit of background from the Chicago outfit, but he also had connections to politicians and then Barry Goldwater and politicians in the state of Arizona, to the point where he got banks to lend to the casinos. It wasn't the Teamsters that brought the first loans to the casinos. It was banks in the state of Arizona. Interesting, I thought. More interesting, I've not looked into that, is who major stakeholders for these banks. Was one of them perhaps Barry Goldwater? It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting to find out. Now, some of these Jewish casino people will live long and fruitful life. They did. Some of them died tragically. Segway died in an operating table. Dallas died in his 80s, basically a very old, respected guy, right? Goldberg, who helped take over the Flamingo once Bugsy was killed, retired. He didn't want to, after a while, he was just tired. He was older. He didn't want to do the gambling anything more. He wanted to go back to Phoenix and basically retire and live his life. Sadly, the Chicago outfit had other plans. See, one problem with working with the Italian mafia is sometimes you can't quit. This is a story I heard more than once with different mafioso, with different agents, different associates throughout time. Greenspan wanted out. The outfit said no. Under Tony Cotto said no, we don't want you out. We want you to run the Riviera instead. Okay. Guy said no, I'm not going to do it. One day, tragically, Goldstein's sister-in-law is killed. Guy gets the message. He now starts running the Riviera, but his heart's not in it. He decides instead of running the casino well, the best he can, he doesn't really want to do it anymore. But yeah, he more or less knows if he doesn't, he'll be killed. He starts gambling and losing a lot. He starts drinking a lot. He starts doing drugs a lot. He starts chasing girls openly, day and night, night and day, giving them gifts, giving them money, running out of money himself because he wasn't a good gambler, especially when he was drunk and or on drugs. He would start embezzling money from the casino. Tony Ocado would find this out and have him killed. In fact, he had him killed not in Vegas because they really killed people in Vegas. They waited until they went home for Thanksgiving. When they didn't report back right away, or nobody knew where the cops went home, and both he and his wife were killed, throat slit. He throat was slit to the point it was basically decapitated. His wife was killed too. Her throat was slit as well, but she's also had severe head injuries upon her head. It's thought that before they slit her throat, they knocked her unconscious. Don't know. It's nice to think that she had no idea what was going on with her husband. She had no control of her husband. Probably shouldn't have killed her. Maybe the wrong place, the wrong time. But when push comes to shove, the mafia really doesn't care. When you sit there and think for a moment that the story is the lies that the media wants you to believe, they don't really hurt women and children, they really try not to hurt civilians. But they do. They do. Tony Soprano's a nice guy. He's not. But that's the media, right? Overall, generally speaking, the mafia is filled with criminals. Filled with statistic criminals, not that. And as we know, they kill people. I mean, Gus shouldn't have stolen. Yeah, they would kill Gus, right? Problem is, they kill his wife. We had a story where back in the day one of the investors with Argent, which was being the casinos that my guy Frank helped get Teamsters loans for. Helped get loans for Teamsters for, right? She went out. She didn't do any more investing in the casino. She wanted her money. And many investors do, right? What happens? She's killed. Now, was she killed because she wanted her money back? That's the story. Was she killed by someone that's broken her home? Wrong place, wrong time? Maybe. I'm thinking that she was killed because she wanted her money back, and the Argent Corporation, under Frank, my guy, didn't want to give their money back. I mean, Frank, hey, Kerry, Mafia, again, I can't lecture you enough on this one, are not nice people. We should get over the fact that they are. We'll be talking about some of them, no, I don't say nice, heroic things. Here you go, throw a Jewish gangster. His name escapes me right now, but he comes to Vegas. He's a Jewish gangster. He comes in the same part, in El River Valley. He knows Detroit. He knows Chicago. He's a hardcore, very religious Jewish male. He finds out through the media, through the press, who was reporting at the time what was going on with the Jews in Germany, the concentration camps. That was reported on, right? He's pissed off. He's upset about this. Now, does he do what some of these gangsters did as well, which is trash these meetings of the KKK, the early pro-Nazi American movements? Yeah, he did. As did other members of the Jewish organized crime groups. But he also went to Canada and served. He voluntarily enlisted in the Canadian Army and fought in the front lines. And as he said himself many times, he was there to kill as many Nazis as he could. And boy, did he. I believe he got some type of a medal, not like the Medal of Honor or anything of that high rank, but a medal saying he was doing some heroic things. So let's give him that sort of stuff, right? I mean, interesting types of people that you can find in Jewish organized crime, right? Anyway, the book I'm promoting is my book, Like Onion. I appreciate it. If you bought a copy, it's in Kindle, I think, for about $5. I think it's paperback for around 13 or so. I don't know how much donor book calls for. They might have deals with other books. Sometimes they do get the book. I don't know, but they might be offhand. But I will be doing more. Next week, we go a little bit more on some of the other interesting Jewish gangsters, because there certainly are some. Thank you, Pops. A lot of interesting Jewish gangsters. With one question we will explore more going on forward as well, is my idea that much of Laurie, as much of the early skim funds were not put in people's pockets per se, but were used to fund the Haganah and other Jewish resistance groups in the Middle East before Israel would gain its independence from England. In a few years afterwards is when Israel was fighting for its life against the Arabs armies seeking to destroy it. Anyway, hope everybody had a nice time. Hope you enjoy a little bit more slower pace, a little bit more information. What I find interesting, and wait till we talk about Max Factor. God, you'd be rolling the ground. That crazy thing is absolutely insane. We're going to talk more about our good friend Frank Rosenthal. Crazy people, crazy times. You know, a YouTube channel, well, more of a TV station. You too can have one. Anyway, talk to you all later. Appreciate you. Talk to you. Bye.
Glamorized and embraced by Hollywood, feared in the underworld, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was one of the most powerful men in America. He was also one of the most hated. The man who gave birth to Las Vegas was gunned down in the luxurious home of his glamorous lover. Almost 80 years later, his murder remains unsolved. Who killed Bugsy?
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands in there.